Hello student, welcome you all to my YouTube class Monotos teaching. So today we will going to learn about GDP at current price and constant price, that is called as the money GDP and real GDP, and what is the relationship between the GDP and welfare. So let us start. So GDP at current price. So GDP, that is the gross domestic product. Already you know it very well. GDP is the money value of all final goods and services produced within the domestic territory of our country during an accounting year. That is the meaning of GDP. Now when GDP is measured at the prices of the current year, that is called as GDP at current price. So GDP at current price means it is the money value of all final goods and services produced within the domestic territory of a country in a year or during an accounting year, estimated at the prices of current year. So current year doesn't mean only the 1900, 1920 or 2021. Suppose we want to measure the GDP of India for the year 2017-18 and we take the price of 17-18, then that is called as GDP at current price. So it is also called as the nominal GDP. But this doesn't reflect the true picture of economic growth of a country. जो नॉमिनल जीडीपी या मनी जीडीपी जो होता है वो एक अर्थ व्यवस्था का सही पिक्चर, ट्रू पिक्चर रिफ्लेक्ट नहीं करता है. Why? Because when there is increase in the price level, the amount of GDP at current price it will increase without any change in the physical output. It means GDP at current price, it increases when there is increase in the price of the current year. There may not be any increase in the quantity produced in the current year, but if the price in the current year is increases compared to the previous year or the base year, then automatically the value of the GDP at current price will increase without any change in the quantity. So therefore it doesn't reflect the true picture of the economy. Now come to the GDP at constant price. So GDP at constant price, it is the money value of final goods and services produced within the domestic territory of a country in a year or during an accounting year, estimated at base year price. So base year is a normal year. Already you have learned it, that what is the meaning of normal year in class 11 index number. Normal year means the year which is free of any type of abnormalities like war, epidemics. जैसे कि अभी 1920 में अभी हमारा जो है ये कोविड-19 हो गया, कोरोना वर्ल्ड वाइड हो गया, तो 2019-20 को या 2021 को भी कभी नॉर्मल ईयर हम नहीं ले सकते हैं, बिकॉज abnormalities happens. Similarly, base year is a normal year in which is free from price fluctuation. Generally normal year में price fluctuation कम होता है क्योंकि किसी प्रकार का abnormalities उसमें नहीं रहता है. It is free from the abnormalities. So in India, the 2011-12 is considered as the base year in India to measure the GDP. So लेटेस्ट जो बेस ईयर है इंडिया में जीडीपी को मेजर करने के लिए वो है 2011-12. सो फॉर एग्जांपल, सपोज यू वांट टू मेजर द जीडीपी ऑफ इंडिया फॉर द ईयर 2019-20 एट द प्राइसेस ऑफ 2011-12, इट इज कॉल्ड एज द जीडीपी एट कांस्टेंट प्राइस. मतलब 2019-20 में जितना हमारा फाइनल गुड्स एंड सर्विसेज हमारा देश में उत्पादन हुआ है, हमारा डोमेस्टिक टेरिटोरी का अंदर विद इन द डोमेस्टिक टेरिटरी 1920 में जितना हमारा फाइनल गुड्स एंड सर्विसेज उसका मनी वैल्यू को अगर हम मेजर करेंगे 2019-20 प्राइस में तो वो हो जाएगा जीडीपी एट करेंट प्राइस। लेकिन अगर उसको हम बेस ईयर प्राइस 2011-12 में मेजर करेंगे दैट विल बी कॉल्ड एज द जीडीपी एट कांस्टेंट प्राइस। इट इज ऑल्सो कॉल्ड एज रियल जीडीपी and the real GDP actually reflects the true economic growth of a country. Whether there is economic growth is going on or not, whether we have achieved the economic growth, whether the GDP is increasing or not in real terms, that can be known from the real GDP, not from the your money GDP or nominal GDP. So real GDP increases when there is increase in the physical output only. रियल जीडीपी में वृद्धि कब होगा ना, जब देश में हमारा जो अंतिम द्रव्य एवं सेवा जो है फाइनल गुड्स एंड सर्विसेज जो है उनका जो अमाउंट अगर बढ़ता है, क्वांटिटी अगर बढ़ता है, देन ओनली द रियल जीडीपी विल इंक्रीज। सो देयरफॉर जीडीपी एट कांस्टेंट प्राइस इज अदरवाइज कॉल्ड एज द रियल जीडीपी एंड इट रिफ्लेक्ट्स द ट्रू पिक्चर ऑफ इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ ऑफ ए कंट्री। नाउ कम टू द नेक्स्ट. What is the how to find out the real versus nominal GDP, how to calculate? So this is in equation form. So nominal GDP, that is the value of final goods and services evaluated at current year prices. For example, P1 Q1 plus P2 Q2 P3 Q3 up to Pn Qn. P1 means price of the current year and Q1 is the quantity. P2 means price of the another commodity in the current year and Q2 is the quantity. Similarly, Pn is the price of the nth good and Qn is the quantity. By adding this P1 Q1 plus P2 Q2 up to Pn Qn, you will get what? Nominal GDP. So this P1 Q1 P2 Q2 Pn Qn. Real GDP. Real GDP means value of the final goods and services evaluated at base year prices. Just see the difference between these two equations. Here P1B means Q1 means the quantity of good 1 in the current year and P1B means quantity of good 1 in the base year. This is the base year price, B means. Similarly, P2B means this is the price in the base year of the second good or second commodity, that is good 2 and Q2 is the quantity. And similarly, P&B means that is the price of the last commodity, nth commodity, and its quantity is Qn, and PNB means price of that commodity in the base year, that is PNB. So by adding this you will get what? You will get the real GDP. One that is a table with numerical example, you will be more clear. So here you see, here 2011-12 that is here the base year and 2019-20 is the current year. Suppose three commodity that are produced in our country, because no doubt thousands and lakhs of commodities are produced, but it is not possible to take all the commodities. We have to minimize the commodity. Suppose there are three commodities. One is wheat and the quantity of wheat is 20 tons and its price is 100 per ton. So automatically your GDP MP is 2000, that is 20 into 100 2000. Similarly, cloth 100 meters, then price is 5 per meter, then GDP MP is 100 into 5 is equal to 500. Then sugar 5 tons and per ton the value is 500, so its value is 500 into 5, that is 2500. That is P1 Q1 P2 Q2 P3 Q3 like Pn Qn, and its value is 5000. Now In 2019, that is 20 tons, and there is no change in the quantity. You see, quantity remains same, 20 tons, cloth 100 meters and sugar 5 tons. So, total, that is 1000 into 20, 20,000, 100 into 20, 2000, 5 into 1600, 8000. So, in 2019-20, the GDP-MP, the value of GDP-MP is 30,000. So, we can say that there is a increase in the GDP-MP of 25,000 in 2019-20 in comparison to 11-12. But that is the increase in GDP only due to increase in price. So, you see here the price has increased from 100 to 1000, 5 to 20 and 500 to 1600, whereas the wheat production, cloth production and sugar production in quantity, production of these goods and their quantity remain same in 2019-20 as well as in 2011-12. इसका मतलब है 2011-12 में व्हीट, क्लॉथ एंड शुगर जितना हमारा प्रोडक्शन हुआ था 2019-20 में भी उतना प्रोडक्शन हुआ है, लेकिन 2011-12 में हमारा जीडीपी का वैल्यू था 5000, 2019-20 में वो हो गया 30,000। तो 25,000 जो वृद्धि हुआ है वो एक्चुअली प्राइस में इंक्रीज हुआ है, इसीलिए हुआ है, लेकिन रियल टर्म में क्वांटिटी में कुछ इंक्रीज हुआ नहीं है। सो दैट्स व्हाई इट इज कॉल्ड जीडीपी एट करेंट प्राइस दैट डजंट रिफ्लेक्ट द ट्रू economic position or true economic growth. Whether it has increased or not, how we can know? So, now estimation of real GDP. So, in 2011-12 already we have seen that our GDP was 5,000, whereas in 2019-20 at the current price our GDP was, that is 30,000 due to increase in the prices, but actually there is no increase in the quantity. Now suppose in 2019-20, suppose the price we have, that is no doubt the price has increased, but actually in the real term it has increased or not. Suppose the quantity has increased from 20 to 30 tons. In cloth it has increased from 100 meters to 200 meters and sugar for 5 tons to 10 tons. Now we have to measure the value of this product or these goods not in the current prices, that is in the prices of 2019-20, but you have to take the price of the base year, that is 2011-12. Now in the 11-12 the prices 100 per ton in case of wheat, 5 per meter in case of cloth, and in sugar it is 500. Then what will be its value? The value is 9,000. It means actually there is a increase in the that is GDP from 5,000 to 9,000. So this is the thing. So the real GDP actually shows the true economic position of a country, but the monetary GDP or the nominal GDP doesn't reflect the true economic position of a country or true economic growth of a country. Is it clear? So next come to the next one. What is the distinguish between the nominal GDP and the real GDP? So already we have discussed. So GDP at current price, or that is your nominal GDP, it is the market value of final goods and services produced within the domestic territory of a country in an accounting year, estimated at current year prices. And GDP at constant price means it is the market value of final goods and services produced within the domestic territory of a country in an accounting year, estimated at base year prices. Okay, that is the definition, difference in definition. Then GDP at current price, it can increase without any increase in the volume of goods and services. Without any increase in the volume of goods and services, it can increase. When volume will increase, no doubt it will increase, but it can increase without any change in the volume of goods and services. It may be due to, or it is due to the increase in price level in the current year. Whereas GDP at constant price means it can increase only when the flow of goods and services increase in the economy. So GDP at constant price will increase, or GDP at base year price, it has increased when there is increase in the quantity, physical quantity of goods and services. And third one is, it is known as money GDP, and it is known as the real GDP. And fourth one is, it is not a good measure of welfare of people, and whereas the real GDP or GDP at constant price, it is a good measure of welfare of the people. So this is a very important question, that is, what is the distinguish or what is the difference between the nominal GDP and real GDP. Often the question comes from this, that is the difference between the nominal GDP and real GDP. So now come to the, so I hope you understood it, that what is GDP at current price and what is GDP at constant price, and how we can measure it with the help of numerical example. And the next one is your GDP and welfare. So before that, that is how to convert, that is the nominal GDP into real GDP. Real GDP or GDP at constant price is equal to GDP at current price by current price index or price index into 100. Okay, so real GDP or GDP at constant price is equal to GDP at current price by price index into 100. And nominal GDP, that is GDP at current price, just you cross multiplied, that is real GDP into price index by 100. अगर उस इक्वेशन GDP at constant price is equal to GDP at current price by price index into 100, हमको GDP at current price अगर चाहिए तो GDP at current price और nominal GDP is equal to price index, इधर में डिवीजन डिवाइड हुआ है, in this side it will be multiplied. So price index into real GDP or real GDP into price index, and 100 is multiplied here. When you take it here this side, then it will be divided. Okay, so this is the formula of real GDP and this is the formula of nominal GDP. Okay, then GDP deflator, this is very much important. GDP deflator, GDP deflator is nothing but it is the ratio of the nominal GDP by real GDP into 100. Okay, so why this GDP deflator is used? To eliminate the effect of price changes or inflation and to determine the real change in physical output, the GDP deflator is used. You know that current year national income or current year GDP at current prices, or that is your nominal GDP, it is affected by the inflation, means it is affected by the when there is increase in the price level. So therefore, to determine the real change in physical output, actually कितना change हुआ है, प्राइस का इम्पैक्ट को वहाँ एलिमिनेट करने के लिए, नो डाउट इन द करेंट ईयर आउटपुट इंक्रीजेस एज वेल एज द प्राइस इंक्रीजेस, बट इन रियल टर्म कितना बड़ा है वो जानने के लिए हमको क्या करना पड़ेगा, कितना आउटपुट बड़ा है उसको लेना पड़ेगा, प्राइस में कितना बड़ा है उसको नहीं लेना पड़ेगा. That is, then we can find out the that is real GDP, that is GDP at constant price. तो इसीलिए GDP डिफ्लेक्टर को क्या किया जाता है, यूज किया जाता है, जो एलिमिनेट करता है, दूर करता है द इफेक्ट ऑफ द इन्फ्लेशन ऑन द करेंट ईयर, दैट इज द GDP एट करेंट प्राइसेस और नॉमिनल GDP. नॉमिनल GDP का ऊपर, नॉमिनल GDP इज अफेक्टेड बाय द price level, you know it very well, because when price increases, nominal GDP increases, and quantity also when increases, nominal GDP increases. But what is in real sense, what is the increase in the GDP in the current year compared to the previous year or in the base year? Then we have to eliminate the impact of the price level on the current year GDP. That's why this GDP deflator is used. करंट ईयर में रियल सेंस में कितना बड़ा है जीडीपी का वैल्यू, उसको जानने के लिए हमको जीडीपी डिफ्लेटर को यूज किया जाता है, क्योंकि जीडीपी डिफ्लेटर जो है वो करंट ईयर नेशनल इनकम या करंट ईयर जीडीपी व्हिच इज अफेक्टेड by the price level, that effect is eliminated, that impact is eliminated by this GDP deflator. And the formula of the GDP deflator, that is your nominal GDP by real GDP into 100. Then come to next. One example, suppose the nominal GDP is 500. Suppose the nominal GDP is 500 and current price index is 125. That is your GDP deflator, that is 125. What is the real GDP? So real GDP is equal to nominal GDP by price index into 100. So 500 by 125 into 100, that is equal to 400. It means that suppose in the current year the value of the nominal GDP is 500, but actually what is its value in a real sense? Its value is 400. How? By using the GDP deflator, that is the price index. The current price index is 125, so real GDP is equal to nominal GDP by price index into 100, that is your 400. Similarly, another example, suppose real GDP is given as 240, price index is given as 120, then what will be the nominal GDP? रियल जीडीपी दिया गया है, प्राइस इंडेक्स दिया गया है, नॉमिनल जीडीपी कितना होगा? सो नॉमिनल जीडीपी इज इक्वल टू रियल जीडीपी इनटू प्राइस इंडेक्स डिवाइडेड बाय 100. सो 240 इनटू 120 बाय 100, देन द वैल्यू इज 288. इसका मतलब रियल जीडीपी अगर 240 है और प्राइस इंडेक्स का वैल्यू अगर 120 है, तो मनी जीडीपी या नॉमिनल जीडीपी का वैल्यू कितना आया? उससे ज़्यादा आएगा ऑटोमेटिकली, क्योंकि प्राइस इंडेक्स 100 से ज़्यादा हुआ है, 120 हुआ है, तो 288 है. ओके, सो दिस टाइप ऑफ क्वेश्चंस कम्स इन द सीबीएसई एग्जामिनेशन. ओके, हाउ टू कैलकुलेट द नॉमिनल जीडीपी, हाउ टू कैलकुलेट द रियल जीडीपी एंड हाउ टू कैलकुलेट द जीडीपी डिफ्लेटर. इसमें से 3 मार्क का क्वेश्चन जनरली या 1 मार्क का क्वेश्चन भी उसमें आता है. ओके, नेक्स्ट. So next is your GDP and welfare. So this is the thing, whether the GDP is related to our economic welfare or not. Whether the economic welfare of a country or of a nation, it is enhanced or it is increased by GDP or not. When there is increase in GDP, whether there is increase in economic welfare or not. No doubt that is GDP means you know that the volume of goods and services increases. When the volume of goods and services in real terms increases, that is your real GDP, it increases. Automatically people have their standard of living increases, and to some extent we can say there may be lead to the economic welfare. If there is increase in the real GDP, there is increase in the welfare, because people can able to spend more, people can lead a very better standard of living. But the thing is, the relation is not so direct always. Always we cannot say that increase in GDP will lead to increase in economic welfare, because welfare is a very broad concept. It depends on many components or many factors. एक व्यक्ति का और एक देश में जो हम नागरिक है उनका वेलफेयर बहुत सारा फैक्टर्स एंड बहुत सारा सिचुएशंस का ऊपर डिपेंड करता है, बहुत सारा कंपोनेंट्स का ऊपर डिपेंड करता है. उनमें से एक कंपोनेंट जीडीपी हो सकता है. जीडीपी बढ़ने से वेलफेयर हमारा स्टैंडर्ड ऑफ लिविंग बढ़ेगा, लेकिन इट इज़ नॉट ऑलवेज we can say that compulsorily and or mandatorily when there is increase in GDP, there is increase in welfare. How? You see, economic welfare, that here the economic welfare. So economic welfare depends upon real income. हमारा रियल पर कैपिटा इनकम का ऊपर डिपेंड करता है। रियल इनकम का मतलब होता है गुड्स एंड सर्विसेज। अगर देश में द अमाउंट ऑफ गुड्स एंड सर्विसेज इंक्रीजेस, we are able to purchase more goods and services with the same amount of per capita income, then we can say that our real income increases और there is a increase in the standard of living. जॉब सेटिस्फेक्शन का ऊपर डिपेंड करता है, वेदर जॉब में रेगुलरिटी है या नहीं, मेडिकल फैसिलिटीज़ है या नहीं, परमानेंट जॉब है या नहीं, एम्प्लॉयमेंट प्रोस्पेक्ट का ऊपर डिपेंड करता है। when the government is able to that is generate more employment opportunity, then automatically definitely well the people will get the job, then we can say there will be the welfare. Leisure time, we are working, there may be the leisure time, because that is every man wants some hours for the recreation, for the leisure. That is also important for the welfare, क्योंकि welfare doesn't depend upon only the quantitative aspect or the monetary. It doesn't only depends upon the money. Both the that is quantitative factors and qualitative factors are necessary. सिर्फ पैसा के द्वारा इकोनॉमिक वेलफेयर को मेजर नहीं किया जाता है। वेलफेयर डिपेंड करता है मनी का ऊपर, तो डिपेंड करता है, बिकॉज विदाउट मनी वी कैन नॉट परचेज द थिंग्स, नो डाउट. So economic point of view, money is necessary, or your GDP is necessary. But apart from that, some other things are there. Leisure time होना चाहिए, environment pollution कम होना चाहिए, एयर पोल्यूशन नहीं होना चाहिए, हैप्पीनेस लेवल होना चाहिए, लाइफ एक्सपेक्टेंसी या हेल्थ केयर इम्प्रूव होना चाहिए, एजुकेशनल फैसिलिटीज़ होना चाहिए, हाउसिंग फैसिलिटीज़ होना चाहिए, ये सारा चीज़ है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, नाउ सपोज देयर इज़ द लॉकडाउन. In some cities there is even shutdown. So no doubt the people, they are getting the that is income. The government is also giving the minimum requirements to the poor people, below poverty line people, and also to the people or the persons who are working in the public sector and certain government sectors also. They are also getting the what salary, no doubt. But can you say that it increases our economic welfare? No, क्योंकि घर में बंदी होकर रहना पड़ता है. नो डाउट वी शुड कोऑपरेट द गवर्नमेंट, लेकिन हमारे जो इसमें फ्रीडम जो होता है, बाहर में जो लोग घूमने के लिए जाते थे, पार्क में जाते थे, दोस्तों के साथ मुलाकात करते थे, अपना फैमिली रिलेटिव्स के घर में वेकेशन में जाते थे, बच्चों का क्लासेस भी इस समय में चलता था, आज सारा सब कुछ बंद है. घर का अंदर हमको रहना पड़ता है. तो लीजर टाइम अभी हो गया, तो लीजर टाइम भी अभी वर्किंग टाइम पूरा कम हो गया, सिर्फ लीजर ही लीजर है. तो वो भी ज़्यादा लीजर होने से भी हम when we are not going, or we are not able to play outside, we are not able to watch the moving outside, we are not able to meet our friends, we are not able to go to the offices, we are not able to come to the market, we cannot share our feelings with our friends, then definitely there will be no social gather. So definitely it also affect the economic welfare. सो इकोनॉमिक वेलफेयर एक ब्रॉड कंसेप्ट है, वो बहुत सारा जो दैट इज एलिमेंट्स का ऊपर, कंपोनेंट्स का ऊपर डिपेंड करता है. तो इसीलिए सिर्फ हम ये नहीं कह सकते हैं कि व्हेन देयर इज इंक्रीज इन द जीडीपी देयर इज इंक्रीज इन द इकोनॉमिक वेलफेयर. नो डाउट टू सम एक्सटेंट वी कैन से व्हेन देयर इज इंक्रीज इन द रियल जीडीपी, our welfare level or our standard of living increases, we are able to purchase more. But economic welfare depends upon many things that are also taken into account. So now the things is there are certain limitations or there are certain grounds or situation when we can say that GDP cannot be called, or GDP there may be the increase in GDP, but there will not any increase in the economic welfare. So that are called as the limitations of the GDP as a indicator of the economic welfare. जीडीपी को, इकोनॉमिक वेलफेयर को एक इंडिकेटर माना जाता है, रियल जीडीपी को, मनी जीडीपी नहीं है। लेकिन in certain situation there are certain limitations. What are the limitations? Let us discuss. It is an important question for the examination point of view. So GDP is essentially an indicator of aggregate economic activity. In addition to that, it is also frequently used to describe social welfare. The idea behind this is that GDP tends to correlate with consumption. जीडीपी बढ़ने से, जस्ट मैंने बताया, जीडीपी बढ़ने से हमारा स्टैंडर्ड ऑफ लिविंग बढ़ता है, हम ज़्यादा कंज्यूम करते हैं, व्हिच इन टर्न इज कॉमनली यूज एज ए प्रॉक्सी फॉर वेलफेयर। तो उसको एक वेलफेयर का प्रॉक्सी के रूप में हम मान सकते हैं। इन अदर वर्ड्स, द मोर पीपुल कंज्यूम द हैप्पियर दे आर सपोज टू बी। जितना ज़्यादा हम कंज्यूम करेंगे तो हम कहते हैं कि उतना हैप्पी हम रहेंगे। बट दिस टाइप ऑफ दैट इज थिंकिंग इज नॉट ऑलवेज करेक्ट. Now, this line of argument seems a little too simplistic. Assuming causality based on a simple correlation between the GDP and welfare may lead to false conclusion. No doubt there is a direct relationship between GDP and welfare, but sometimes it leads to false conclusion which can be highly problematic, especially for the policy makers. Hence, it is important to look at the limitations of GDP as a welfare indicator and to consider possible alternative approaches. इसीलिए सिर्फ ये मानना ठीक नहीं है कि जीडीपी बढ़ने से हमारा अर्थनैतिक, हमारा कल्याण जो या हमारा वेलफेयर जो है बढ़ता है। वेलफेयर ब्रॉड कंसेप्ट है, तो क्या लिमिटेशन है? देयर मे बी द इंक्रीज इन जीडीपी बट इट विल नॉट लीड टू द इंक्रीज इन द इकोनॉमिक वेलफेयर। हाउ? So, limitations of GDP. Number 1, GDP doesn't incorporate any measure of welfare. GDP only describes the value of final or finished goods produced within an economy over a set of period of time. There are multiple ways to calculate and measure GDP, but neither of them includes any indicator of welfare of well-being. जीडीपी को हम जनरली बहुत सारा उपाय है, बहुत सारे मेथड से उनको हम कैलकुलेट करते हैं, प्रोडक्ट मेथड के द्वारा, इनकम मेथड के द्वारा, एक्सपेंडिचर मेथड के द्वारा। लेकिन these methods, in this method we only take the quantity of the output. Quality aspect is not taken into account. Some indicators of the welfare or well-being of the citizens or of the population of a person are not taken into account. That is the thing. Second, GDP only includes market transactions, because GDP at MP, GDP at market price. As a result, it doesn't account for domestic or voluntary work, even though these activities have a considerable positive impact on social welfare, as they complement the market economy and thus improve the standard of living. जैसे कि works done by the housewife, that are not taken into account, that are also important. Different that is activities that we do in our home, in our leisure time activity, playing of music, that is playing indoor games, doing some works in the garden, that are also important. Doing some art, painting, singing, that are also important for our life, that are the qualitative aspect. The works done by the housewife, that are not taken into account, that also determined our standard of living. सिर्फ हम बाहर में जाते हैं, काम करते हैं, पैसा कमाते हैं, लेकिन घर में अगर हमको ठीक समय में खाना नहीं मिलेगा, घर में जो हाउसवाइफ काम करते हैं, जो केयर लेते हैं, तो वो भी हमारा इकोनॉमिक वेलफेयर उसका ऊपर भी डिपेंड करता है। सिर्फ पैसा आ जाने से वेलफेयर नहीं आएगा, बट दैट आर नॉट टेकन इनटू अकाउंट. On the other hand, GDP doesn't include black market transaction or other illegal activities that may have a substantial negative impact on overall social well-being. पैसा चाहे आप लीगल से whether you earned it legally or illegally, many people they are earning the illegally, and you know that illegal activities, antisocial activities that affect our well-being, वो हमारा वेलबींग को अफेक्ट करता है, which are not taken into account in while estimating the GDP. जब GDP को एस्टिमेट किया जाता है वो नहीं लिया जाता है. So because it only takes into account which are in the market transaction, जो कमोडिटीज बाजार में आता है उसका प्राइसेस एक है, उसको लेके हम GDP को एस्टिमेट करते हैं. That is only the quantitative thing. Next, GDP doesn't describe income distribution. सिर्फ only that is production or only more GDP of a country may increases, no doubt, due to the more production. But whether that GDP is distributed in a equitable manner or not, whether it is reached to everybody or not, whether the people who are living below poverty line they are getting, enjoying or not, that is also important. If there is a high degree of inequality when it comes to income distribution, the majority of the people do not really benefit from an increased economic output because they cannot afford to buy most of the goods and services. Thus, to accurately describe social welfare, it is essential to consider income distribution. In India, you know, there is a high degree of inequalities found between the rich people and the poor people. The rich are become richer and the poor are become poorer. On the one hand, the top of the 10 to 20% people, they have more of our GDP, they are enjoying. They have everything. Whereas the bottom 20%, that is the poorest of the poor, even they are unable to get the 2 squares of meal per day. They are affected. So now during this lockdown period, you can say the most the vulnerable groups are more the affected groups of the poor people, the casual laborers, the daily workers. उनका पास तो कुछ नहीं है. So इसीलिए सिर्फ GDP ज़्यादा उत्पादन करना है, GDP को बढ़ना इम्पोर्टेंट नहीं है. हमारा देश में जो GDP है या नेशनल इनकम जो है वो कैसे डिस्ट्रीब्यूट होता है, हाउ द GDP is distributed. If the gap between the rich and poor is minimized, is decreased, then we can say that to some extent there will be the economic welfare. So therefore, GDP doesn't take into account the income distribution. GDP income distribution के बारे में कुछ बताता नहीं है. GDP सिर्फ कितना वैल्यू है हमारा देश में टोटल फाइनल गुड्स एंड सर्विसेज का, उसके बारे में बताते हैं. उसका बंटन कैसे हुआ, किसको कितना परसेंटेज मिला, who are the benefited from it, that is totally that is in this concept GDP is silent. So therefore we can't say that only increase in GDP will lead to the economic welfare. Understood? Next. GDP ignores externality. GDP ignores externality. Externality means say it is of two type of externality are there. One is your positive externality and one is negative externality. So economic growth usually goes hand in hand with increased exploitation of both the renewable and non-renewable resources. When there is production, you know that renewable resources, we are using the renewable resources as well as the non-renewable resources like coal, then minerals. So when there is overuse of these non-renewable resources, it will lead to the negative externality like pollution, overfishing, air pollution, water pollution. And as a result, the people are affected due to this and the social welfare decreases. For example, in Delhi, अभी अगर हम देखेंगे तो अभी पूरा रिवर पोल्यूशन पूरा कम हो गया है. दिल्ली में अभी एयर पोल्यूशन भी नहीं है क्योंकि पूरा बंद हो गया है, लॉकआउट हो गया है, कोई व्हीकल्स चलता नहीं है. नाउ इफ यू वॉक इन द रोड ऑफ द मेट्रोपॉलिटन सिटीज, or if you walk along the river side like Jamuna, Ganga, then and every river you will get the fresh, that is air, you will get the fresh water. लेकिन जस्ट इमेजिन, अक्टूबर नवंबर महीना इमेजिन कीजिए, दिल्ली में इतना पोल्यूशन होता है कि वहाँ स्कूल बंद हो जाता है, एक्सीडेंट होता है, इवन विंटर में लोगों को दिखाई नहीं देता है. इवन द सिटीजन्स ऑफ द पीपल ऑफ द दिल्ली, दे यूज टू परचेज द that is what oxygens, clean gas, green gas that is sold in the Delhi. गैस खरीदना पड़ता है, ऑक्सीजन उनको खरीदना पड़ता है, बच्चों को मास्क लगाना पड़ता है. ऐसा सिचुएशन है. So the people who are working in the metropolitan cities or crowded city, no doubt they are earning, but what about their health? Every day they are affected by the different type of pollutions. So due to this, different type of diseases are also affected to the people, and their welfare level decreases. And this GDP ignores this externality. GDP जो है वो नेगेटिव एक्सटर्नलिटी को इंक्लूड नहीं करता है. सो वी कांट से दैट, फॉर एग्जाम्पल, हमारा देश में भारी मात्रा में प्रोडक्शन हो रहा है, उसके साथ साथ भारी मात्रा में पोल्यूशन भी हो रहा है. तो प्रोडक्शन से हमको तो मुनाफा हो रहा है, हमारा पास पैसा, जीडीपी ज़्यादा आ रहा है, इनकम बढ़ रहा है, लेकिन हम एक ठीक से सांस भी नहीं ले सकते हैं. बाहर से जाने से हम डरते हैं, बच्चों को स्कूल भेजने से हम डरते हैं, बाहर जा नहीं पाते हैं. चारों तरफ इतना धूल हो जाता है दिल्ली में, तो अंधेरा हो जाता है. तो कैन यू से दैट आवर इकोनॉमिक वेलफेयर increases due to the increase in GDP? No. So that is also taken into account. That is one limitation. Next, rate of population growth. GDP doesn't consider the rate of population growth of a country. If the rate of population growth is higher than the rate of GDP, then it will decrease the per capita availability of goods and services, which will adversely affect the economic welfare. GDP के साथ साथ, if GDP increases, at the same time also population increases at a higher rate, then there will be, that per capita income, that is the national income divided the population. So when the population increases at a higher rate than the GDP, then automatically the per capita income, the rate of per capita income will fall, and we cannot say that it will increase our welfare. And more population means then automatically whatever the commodities or whatever the goods and whatever the services are provided by the government, that will be remain that is lesser and lesser, because the government tend to spend more and more to provide the basic that is requirements, health facilities, housing facilities. जब ज़्यादा हो जाएगा जनसंख्या, तो ऑटोमेटिकली पर कैपिटा जो पर पर्सन जो अवेलेबिलिटी ऑफ दिस फैसिलिटी इट विल डिक्रीज, वो कम हो जाएगा. तो देश का जनसंख्या जो है वो भी एक लिमिट में रहना चाहिए, उसका रेट भी कम होना चाहिए. ग्रोथ रेट ऑफ पॉपुलेशन शुड बी that is it is a very slow rate, it will increase. But if it will increase at a higher rate, then automatically it will lead to adversely affect the economic welfare of our of the citizens. And GDP doesn't take into account the population growth. So that is another limitations while you considering the GDP, whether GDP is an indicator of welfare or not. So if all these things are taken by the GDP, if suppose there will be less pollution, if there will be the less population growth, if there will be better that is equitable distribution of the national income, then we can say that in that sense we can say that increase in GDP will lead to increase in economic welfare. But if with increase in GDP all these problems are there, then at that time we cannot call that, or we cannot consider GDP as a true indicator of the economic welfare. Some other many reasons may be there. फॉर एग्जाम्पल जीडीपी इंक्रीजेस ड्यू टू इंक्रीज इन द हार्मफुल प्रोडक्ट, जैसे कि वाइन, देन इंटॉक्सिकेंट, देन सिगरेट, then some chemicals. Suppose in a economy the GDP increases due to increase in the war product, due to increase in the luxurious commodities, due to increase in the defense goods, due to increase in the wine and other that is health hazards commodities, then can you say increase GDP increases, वाइन का प्रोडक्शन बढ़ा, सिगरेट का प्रोडक्शन बढ़ा, तंबाकू का प्रोडक्शन बढ़ा, वार कमोडिटीज का प्रोडक्शन बढ़ा, तो जीडीपी का वैल्यू बढ़ेगा, नो डाउट बढ़ेगा. बट दीज कमोडिटीज आर ऑफ नो यूज फॉर द पीपल, these are no use for the people. GDP may increase, but actually the basic requirements of the citizens or basic requirements of the people, they have not been fulfilled. So how can you say in that situation that increase in GDP will lead to the increase in economic welfare? That will be also one limitations, that if GDP increases due to the production of the that is luxurious commodities, war goods, and that is health hazards commodities, in that case GDP cannot be considered as a indicator of the economic welfare. Okay, I hope another with this thank you, and I hope you understand the concept. So this is all about the chapter national income and related aggregates according to the CBSE syllabus. Whatever the that is syllabus is there, I have completed it, and I request you to watch all my that is YouTube videos. In this chapter, in this unit, there are 8 videos, 3 videos for the methods, 1 video for the solve of the numerical problem, and rest are for the basic concept, including the today video. And I that is request you to subscribe my channel and like my video. With this, thank you, and we will meet in the next unit, that is money and banking. Thank you. Have a nice day.